Greetings everybody, it's Emily from Book Pages and Ink, and today is Friday, and so it's time for my favorite Friday jar. So if you're new to these videos, I have like a whole playlist of them, so you can go check that out. But Favorite Friday is a concept that I created. I don't know if anybody else does it, but I do it. Where I have a whole bunch of topics in this jar, and every Friday I pick one out, and then I talk about whatever that topic is for however long that I can think of things to talk about. And that sounds really daunting, but honestly, I only talk for maybe 20 minutes max. So if you want something to listen to go to sleep at night, to keep the dark things from getting at you while you're trying to sleep, you could always listen to me ramble about books. Works for some people. Anyway, time to draw a topic. Picking a topic. Please be a good topic. Graphic novels! Yeah, I can talk about that one. Now, I haven't read that many yet, but the ones that I have read, I have more or less liked. I've read one by Holly Black. I have read one called, I believe, The Ghost Boy, which the art was pretty dark for it. I've read the Legend graphic novels. I've read the Harley Quinn graphic novels. I actually have 3 of them right here on my shelf. I should probably pull out my graphic novels because they're all in one place. As well as my comics. Okay, that's not working. Alright, Harley Quinn. Comic collections there, because I have Hi and Lois and I have The Joy of Peanuts Christmas. So I'm going to leave those in there. I'm not going to count them. Alright, so the graphic novels that I own that I have read. Oh, I actually got a new one the other day. Let me take this down. I'm going to have to break my mask here. Alright, so I have Amulet by Kazu Kibuishi, which is actually a really good one. I got this one from the Scholastic Book Fair when I was probably in middle school, and what I liked about it was the cover. And I picked it up and I saw it was a graphic novel, and the art looked really interesting. Let me try to find a really... I guess this will work. So it shows like her amulet and then like the creatures of this world they get dragged into. And I think the other reason why I picked it up is because the main character's name is Emily. So, that is a habit of mine. But I did really like this graphic novel. I don't know why I haven't tried to get the rest of them yet. Yeah, here we go. Then another one I have is Nimona, which I got this past year, I believe. I don't remember if I got it for Christmas or something. I actually don't remember how I got Nimona. I don't remember if I bought it or I think I bought it. But anyway, Nimona, which is a story about a girl who wants to be the apprentice of a villain. It turns out that she can do some pretty interesting things, and she has a pretty dark backstory. But it's a really good story, and I really like it. And you kind of learn that the antagonist isn't really an antagonist at all. He's actually more of a protagonist. Excuse me, which is interesting. And the antagonist is actually a little more, or the protagonist is a little more than the antagonist. But the art is really cool. Let me see if I can find a good page. Nimona the Dragon. Ta-da! Okay. Then I have Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi that I read for, it was an English class I took in college a couple semesters ago. But for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. Anyway, A lot of those books that I had to read for that class I actually ended up getting rid of, but I liked Persepolis enough that I kept it. And Persepolis follows the growing up of a girl in, I believe, Iran. Yeah, during the Islamic Revolution. And it's like an autobiography type thing in graphic novel form, and there's another volume to this that I should probably pick up. But it's really interesting. You know, you kind of get to see like a whole nother culture and like how Islam was received and like the different governments and basically what it was doing to the country. I'm trying to find a good page for like illustrations. I guess I could do this one because it has Persepolis as the title. It's kind of, I don't want to call it a basic art, because no art is basic, it's, you know, art. But it's not as detailed, I guess is the best way to put it. But I really do like Persepolis. I liked it enough, definitely, that I kept it. It's still on my shelf, and maybe one day I'll reread it. I'll have like a whole graphic novel readathon, maybe. Then I have my Harley Quinn graphic novels. I've always kind of had an interest in Harley, but like I never really, I'm not a comic book reader really, and I know that there's a bunch of different versions by a bunch of different authors, and some of them have like different plot lines, so I was like, I never really got into them. But then I saw these, actually this one primarily, I got it when I was up visiting Kira in Montana, and after I read it I was like, I need the next one, so I got the next one, and I got the one after that, I think for Christmas. So they're pretty. The artwork, especially in the first one, the artwork changes because there are different artists. So it starts off in the style that most of the comics look like, and then it starts to change into the different artists. So this is Becky Cloonan. And Tony Daniel on this page, and then Stephanie Rowe. Are you Lex? Like foe. And there's they don't always have the names. They're all at the beginning down at the bottom. Dan, I think it goes in order. No. But it's got like a whole bunch of different artists, and then it goes into like the normal artwork. But they're really cool. I do get to learn a lot about Harley, which I like because she's probably my favorite anti-hero. Because she's not necessarily a villain, but she's also not a hero. She does do good things because she feels it's right, but she also kills people for no reason sometimes. So then the graphic novel that I got a couple days ago was Wires and Nerve, which is a graphic novel from the Lunar Chronicles series, which I'm having a read-along for next month. Without reading any of the dialogue, I'm trying to find a good page of art. Now the first page has Luna on it. I guess I'll show you Luna. And the artwork for this one is by Doug Holgate, and I think there's somebody else helping with the artwork. But I saw, where is it? Somewhere. Maybe I'm crazy? I can't find it. So it's art by Doug Holgate, but I thought I saw somewhere that it was like, and somebody else. I don't know. But anyway, so I'm really excited to read this next month. And I like that it's hardcover, where all of my other ones are all paperbacks. That's definitely something that I like. I also have read, like I said, I think it was The Ghost Boy. I have read Holly Black's graphic novels, or at least one of them. I have read Delia Dirk, and oh, there's another one that I read. I've also read some of the Lumberjanes, and the Lumberjanes was actually really cool, and I need to get my hands on more, because I borrowed them from the library. I may also do like a whole separate video with my manga collection, because I would bring them out for this, because in a way they're graphic novels, but they're all the way over there in a separate cabinet from my bookshelves, because if they were on my bookshelves, I would have very little space. I mean, I don't have that many, but like a good maybe shelf and a half of these, actually probably more like a shelf, but a whole shelf of books, so it would not have a home. So they've been over in a cabinet, but they're nice and stacked neatly, and none of them are damaged, so I'm happy about that. But I might do a whole separate video to talk about them at some point. But I do really like graphic novels. I don't think I have necessarily like a favorite type yet, or like a favorite artist, because I haven't read that many of them. But what I have read I do like. I do like the graphic novel style, and I've always liked having pictures to go with things, but you know, the Legend graphic novels were actually pretty close to the story, and I say pretty close to the story meaning it was like word for word the dialogues, which was really interesting because I feel like that's how it should be, but at the same time it's not what I was expecting. I do know that there is a graphic novel from one of my favorite book series, The Chronicles of Vladimir Tod, but I haven't read them yet, and I haven't even gotten to hold them yet. So, don't know when that will ever be, if it will ever be. Because I'm not the kind of person that can own multiple, like, I mean, it's in a different format, but it would still be weird for me to have, like, a multiple copies of the same story. I had another copy of Heartless with a different cover, and I gave it to my cousin for her birthday, because I already had it, I didn't need it. But I know people who have, like, multiple copies of even the same style of the book. Like, I think Tilly has maybe about a dozen copies. I might even be exaggerating, or it could be totally off, like, it'd be under. But she has a bunch of, The Book Thief copies. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to talk about with graphic novels, because again, I haven't read that many. I don't own that many either, which is, at least I have some. I do pride myself on having some in my library, because, you know, I have some nonfiction, I have some contemporary, I have some historical fiction. So it's like I have a very, very small library, and I guess that makes me happy. But yeah, so, guess I'm done. Didn't take as long as I thought. Didn't take as long as you thought either, probably. You're like, oh, I'm gonna have to sit here for 20 minutes. But you didn't have to. This is the last video for this week. It's the only video for this week, and I apologize. Well, no, that's not true, because I did put up my announcement for my Lunar Chronicles read-along next month up. But next week, I am more than halfway through King's Cage. So next week, hopefully I will have a book series discussion on the Red Queen series, which I'm not necessarily going to say that I'm in love with, but it's very, very close right now. And I had actually done a couple drawings before this one that was different series. I'm like, I can't talk about another series while this is in my head right now, because it's just not going to work. But I do really like Victoria Aveyard's writing style. I am really enjoying the books, even though they are pretty dark, and I have a problem with Maven. Anyway, so hopefully we'll have that next week, as well as another Fave Friday video. It will also be the end of February. Guys, we are almost to the end of February. Do you know how crazy that is? I feel like just last week it was the end of January. It's almost March. But March comes, I believe, spring. It also has the opening day for the Beauty and the Beast live action movie, which I am so excited for. It's the deadline for a couple scholarships that I have applied for, so kind of hoping I get some of those, maybe, hopefully, because paying for college is not going to be fun. Trying to think if there's anything else that happens in March. I know there is a couple birthdays that I know of for my friends. I know that St. Patrick's Day is next month on the 17th, but I wasn't sure how you guys would receive it, because I know for a lot of people it's more like it's kind of like Valentine's Day. It's a commercialized holiday. I don't think many people really remember what St. Patrick's Day is supposed to be celebrating. Yeah, so anyway, I have a question for you guys before we depart. What have you read graphic novels? What are your favorites? Have you this one? You have it? Are you excited? You can enjoy my read along? I know that's more than one question. I had one question. But I will see you guys very soon. I love you all. It means so much when you watch and comment on my videos. There have been a couple people commenting, and it always makes my day when I see it. I don't respond right away because I'm usually either at work or I'm not in a place where I can respond to it. But I do see them, and they make me very happy. So thank you. I love you guys. Happy reading, and have a good weekend.